Hello and welcome back to Skypothesis. We are so excited to present our next build, the Sunfire Herald. We have taken inspiration from all corners of fantasy, including TV series, novels, and movies to bring a brand new role-playing experience to Vanilla Skyrim. We were reading one day through Hammerfell lore, added with the Elder Scrolls Online, and we stumbled upon an interesting tribe from the First and Second eras called the Ashaba. These were an ancient tribe of outcasts who specialized in destroying the undead. They were born out of necessity, as the Redguards revered their fallen dead so much they would not even lift a blade against a reanimated corpse. Their cultural distaste for magic was so severe that the Ashaba were forced to live away from society in the northeast reaches of the Alakir Desert. We have no information on their status in the Fourth Era, but with the passing of centuries, we believe it likely that their numbers have dwindled to the point of non-existence. And since they no longer fill the same role in Hammerfell of purging the undead as a necessary evil, what few tribes remain would be left to wander and fend for themselves, or integrate into normal Redguard society. The Sunfire Herald represents the last of the Ashaba. All her life she wished her tribe would take up the legacy of their ancestors and once again embrace the profession of killing undead, but she was met with unenthusiastic dismissal. They were content with being shepherds, nomads, and just living simple lives. So she forged her own path and traveled, studied her people's history, and practiced magic. She spent many years traveling all over Tamriel following rumors of risen undead, seeking them out and destroying them with intense hatred. Sometimes there were bounties to collect on these quests, but if not, she would just do the jobs anyway on her own volition. However, her headstrong character wasn't without consequence. One of her trails led her to the Cyrodiil province of Skingrad, where a wealthy noble's personal necromancer had risen undead working the fields and lands of the estate. In Cyrodiil, some necromancers are given the corpses of criminals to use, and it's entirely legal. However, the Sunfire Herald paid no heed to these laws and laid waste to these blasphemous experiments, burning down much of the property in the process. Outraged by this injustice, the noble put a high bounty on her head, and she was forced to flee north into Skyrim. She would soon find a land filled with all manner of undead, Daedra worshippers, and vampires roaming the lands and tombs unchecked. She had work to do, and knew that it was her duty to bring light to this frozen country. The Sunfire Herald is a chaotic good character. She follows her own path and will answer to no kings, jarls, or governments. She seeks out vampires, demons, necromancers, and any who practice dark and forbidden magic. She will delve into the darkest recesses of Oblivion or Mundus to root them out in the name of her once great tribe. And, speaking of her tribe, one of your goals when role-playing as the Sunfire Herald is rebuilding the Ashaba in Skyrim. While there is no official way to build up a guild from scratch in the vanilla game, we decided to get really creative and make one anyway. A Hearthfire homestead can support a steward, housecarl, spouse, and up to 2 children. So with Lakeview Manor as headquarters, the Ashaba can be born again. For the Lakeview Manor expansions, make sure you build an armory, bedrooms, and a trophy room. We decked out our housecarl Raya, follower Atar, steward Lydia, and husband Marcurio with our Ashaba armor combo, and gathered them together to form the new tribe. While Lydia and Marcurio can be replaced with anyone else you see fit, we recommend using Atar and Raya as they are Redguards like yourself. The group looks so cool wandering around the house in their matching armor. We filled the armory to the brim with relevant armaments, the trophy room with slain undead and other nasty creatures, and even adopted the Redguard child Alesan to train up in the ways of the Ashaba. Now, anytime you return to home base, you will be greeted by friendly faces who have joined your cause to rid Skyrim of foul creatures. Through the Sunfire Herald, the Ashaba will be reborn into the province of Skyrim. Building up this homestead can be time-consuming and demands a lot of resources, but is super rewarding and fun for the roleplay. As mentioned previously, her main follower is Atar, the headsman of Solitude. After completing a brief quest for him, he will offer to be your follower. He is unique in the fact that he uses the headsman's axe in combat, which we think is really cool. You can give him a more powerful two-handed weapon if you desire, but be sure to keep it unenchanted so the shout Battle Fury can still be used to buff him in combat. If you would rather have a dual-wield follower, your housecarl Raya is great in combat as well. She will join your cause after you become Thane of Falkreath. While both are great followers, only Raya can serve as housecarl in your home, So in order to maximize members of your new guild, we recommend sticking to the pattern that we have outlined. The Sunfire Herald is powerful and charismatic, and those who she fights with in battle can't help but be inspired to join her noble cause. Together with your new team, you will be able to cleanse Skyrim one foul cavern at a time. The most important questlines to pursue are the Dawnguard, College of Winterhold, Main Quest, and Dragonborn DLC. All of these questlines involve slaying the undead in some degree. Some notable side quests are the Break of Dawn, A Love Beyond Death, the Wolf Queen Awakened, and Frostflow Abyss to get the perk Sailor's Repose, which reduces the cost of restoration magic by 10%. Now that we have covered the Sunfire Herald's backstory and roleplay, it's time to jump into weapons, armor, spells, and shouts. The Sunfire Herald wields the Eye of Melka, a forsworn staff of fireball. This staff can be obtained by freeing the Hagraven Melka in Blindcliff Cave once you have slain Petra, the Hagraven who imprisoned her. While you'll mostly use self-cast fire spells to level destruction, the Eye of Melka makes for a super cool tribal look and complements her aesthetic beautifully. It's also important to have on hand if and when you find yourself out of magicka. To fill soul gems used to charge the Eye of Melka, the Sunfire Herald uses an enchanted Dragon Priest dagger with Fiery Soul Trap and Absorb Health. The Dragon Priest dagger looks like a wicked sacrificial blade, which seems fitting for a character whose look is based off of an ancient sun warrior. This blade is not really used for dealing lots of damage, just for quick swipes to soul trap an enemy before you finish them off with your flames. The Absorb Health and fire damage are a nice plus though. In her left hand, she wields the mighty shield Spellbreaker. Aside from being a powerful shield, it's also the perfect choice for a restoration mage as it's compatible with the perk Ward Absorb. You will find that Spellbreaker gives you a cutting edge when taking down dragons, as it provides great protection against their breath. For armor, she uses a Dwarven chestplate, Forsworn gauntlets and boots, and the Ethereal Crown. The combination of armors was done for aesthetic purposes, and she isn't really missing out on any important perks by doing this. She will enchant her armor with Fortify Destruction and Fortify Restoration, her gauntlets with Fortify Magicka and Fortify Block, her boots with Resist Fire and Resist Frost, an amulet with Fortify Restoration and Fortify Magicka Regen, and finally a ring with Fortify Destruction and Fortify Magicka Regen. The ring should be gold and sapphire to match the aesthetic of the Ethereal Crown. The golden armor paired with the tribal-looking Forsworn gauntlets and boots helps her look the part of an ancient tribal sun warrior, which we think is really cool. You can find Dwarven gear as early as level 12, either in random loot containers or from merchants. We recommend buying one or scouring dungeons for one as soon as you hit level 12, so you can get the Sun Warrior look going as soon as possible. Forsworn gauntlets and boots can be looted off Forsworn enemies as early as level 1, so head to the Reach as soon as you can to pick them up. The Ethereal Crown will take some time to obtain, so get started on the quest Lost to the Ages quickly and don't look back. The standing stones we have chosen to load into the crown are the Steed and Atronach stones. The Steed Stone grants unrestricted movement and greater carrier weight, and the Atronach Stone's Magicka Absorption and base Magicka increase is tremendously helpful to this tanky character. Your follower Atar, along with your spouse, housecarl, and steward, should be fitted with armor that matches yours, so be sure to pick up extra armor for them. When the Sunfire Herald and Atar fight side by side, the two golden Redguard warriors are a stunning sight to behold. Now let's go over spells and shouts. The Sunfire Herald, as a battle mage, will use a wide variety of restoration and destruction spells. We have found these spells to be the most useful and the most fitting for her playstyle. From restoration, she will use Close Wounds, Guardian Circle, Heal Other, Stendarr's Aura, and Sunfire. From destruction, Flame Cloak, Fireball, and Wall of Flames. While Wall of Flames and Flame Cloak are far from the strongest destruction spells in the game, they are super fun to use, look great, and are integral to her special moves, which we'll get into a little bit later in the video. She will alternate back and forth between two main shouts, Fire Breath and Battle Fury. If Yol is meditated upon with Paarthurnax, the strength of the shout is increased by 25%. In addition, the skill Dragonborn Flame should be obtained at the end of the quest, the Gardener of Men. This will allow fireworms to fly out of the burnt corpses of your enemies and sow chaos on the battlefield. Battle Fury will be tremendously helpful to your companion Atar and allow him to attack much faster. All three words are found in Valak's tomb during the quest Lost Legacy found in Solstheim. Would recommend getting this shout as soon as possible after recruiting Atar. The Sunfire Herald will also use a couple greater powers. Bones of Earth is one of the most useful powers granted by the Allmaker Stones, and it's worth making several trips so you can always have it on hand. Sunflare is a must-have as well. It's a nice backup if you ever find yourself both without magicka and without charges in your staff. For stats, you will want to evenly split your points between health and magicka. Stamina isn't really necessary due to the Steed Stone and the Redguard's racial ability Adrenaline Rush. By the time you hit level 40, you will want the following perks. In Restoration, you will want the Novice through Master perks, Regeneration, Respite, Necromage, and Ward Absorb. In Destruction, you will want the Novice through Expert perks, 2 perks in Augmented Flames, Intense Flames, Destruction Dual Casting, and Impact. In Enchanting, you will want all 5 perks in Enchanter, Soul Squeezer, Insightful Enchanter, Corpus Enchanter, and Extra Effect. For block, we recommend perking the entire tree with the exception of Quick Reflexes, which we personally did not feel was necessary for this character. If you plan to play past level 40, you can always put more perks in the Restoration tree for extra utility, and look into Alchemy to make useful Fortify Destruction potions for late game. For her special moves, we first have Flame Charge, which is the combination of Adrenaline Rush, Flame Cloak, and Shield Charge. Adrenaline Rush is important since we aren't perking stamina, and it allows you a full 60 seconds of nearly unlimited charging. Use this to break down enemy defenses, breach fortifications, or whenever you feel the need to cause absolute mayhem. The next move is Sunfire Mythal, which is Circle of Protection, Stendarr's Aura, Bones of Earth, and Flame Wall. A Mythal is like a powerful ward but for a larger area, so imagine Gandalf fighting the Balrog. Use this when you need to hold your ground and dig in for a difficult fight. Finally, we have Inspiration, which is Courage, Battle Fury, and Heal Other. This is used when you need to boost your companion's effectiveness in combat. Even though Illusion is not perked, Courage is a low-level skill and has its uses, though it's mainly used to roleplay her influence as a leader. And with that, we are ready to wrap up the Sunfire Herald. When creating this character, we asked ourselves what an Aztec sun goddess would look like in Skyrim. We discovered lore on the ancient Ashaba tribe and the Sunfire Herald was born. We hope you've enjoyed the journey, and if you like what we do, be sure to like and subscribe to keep the magic of Skyrim alive. We'll catch you next time right here on Skypothesis. Thanks for watching.